So this article is titled, "It Was His Best Friend. Ex-Trump Casino Boss Reveals President Brought Epstein and Teen Girl to the Gaming Floor." And this is a guy who I believe he worked for 4 years at his Atlantic City casino. And he claimed that the president once brought Jeffrey Epstein and a 19-year-old girl to the gaming floor. Now, for people out there, they're saying, "Oh, she's 19, she's old enough." If you have a 19-year-old child, if you have a 19-year-old daughter, 19 ain't grown up. If you know anything about biology or science, you know that the prefrontal cortex doesn't fully develop by the time you're 19. That's the place that you make decisions. That's why a lot of times we look so down on relationships between people that are of advanced age and people that are young. There is a reasoning behind that. For people that don't understand why alcohol is the age to purchase alcohol is 21, there's actually scientific reasoning behind that, and that is it stunts the growth of your prefrontal cortex. So anybody out there like, "Well, she was 19, that's not so bad." That's cope. So anyways, this man, Jack O'Donnell, he went on CNN, it looks like, and spoke a little bit about this. So first, let's play this clip, and let's watch this, and then we're going to get a little bit into the article itself. It helps to turn off the mute button.
One incident that I think kind of, proves their closeness and how much they hung out together. One time, a Monday morning, I came in and the commission was waiting. The inspectors were waiting at my office, and Donald and Jeffrey had come into the casino in the wee hours of Sunday morning, 1:30 in the morning. Two buddies. They had three women with them, and the commission was waiting for me because they had determined that the women that they brought down were underage to be on the casino. And when I asked them how they knew that, by the way, one of them was the number 3 ranked tennis player in the world. Okay. And this guy happened to be a tennis fan. And he said, "Jack, I know she's 19 years old." Okay. So, and to get on a helicopter with a friend and 3 other people and fly down to Atlantic City, I mean, you can connect those dots. They were pretty
at 1:30 in the morning. And just to be clear, the story, when you say underage for the casino would be 21, right? So not necessarily legally underage girls, right? Not in that case.
No.
I believe in Alabama the age of consent, is it like 16? Like these are arbitrary numbers, guys.
Not in the sense of a minor, so to speak, that's been described with Epstein. They were underage to be in the casino, and they knew for fact that one of them was 19 years old.
Yeah. So, first of all, that's illegal. You can't have an underage person in this casino under the age of 21, right? So, not that Donald Trump is concerned at all about what is legal, right? But it's illegal. And this caused a lot of issues with the commission that was there, because obviously they do care what is or is not legal for a person to be inside of the casino, whether or not they're of age. So this story goes on to say, in my mind, it was Epstein, his best friend, from really the time I was there for 4 years. So this is he's saying in the 4 years that he was there, a guy that Donald Trump has said over and over again, "Yeah, did I know Epstein? Yeah, I knew him, but we barely even hung out together. I didn't even really know the guy. To me, he was just a creep. This man saying for the 4 years that he was there during his time at this casino, it seemed to him that Epstein was not just his friend, but his best friend. The revelation comes as uproar over the Trump administration's handling of the Epstein file refuses to die down. Anger from MAGA over the recent Department of Justice memo declaring the case closed has not subsided, while Trump has reportedly raged that his supporters won't shut the fuck up about the saga. And he just called him stupid. I think you guys saw that on Pastor Benjamin's show just now. He's called him stupid. When we talk about, Donald Trump calling military soldiers suckers and losers, what does MAGA tell you? What do they tell you? What does MAGA say? They say, he didn't say that. You can't prove that. There's no video. There's no audio. It's just people that hate Trump. That's all it is. It's just people that want to sell books, that want to write books. That's who this is. Well, I'll tell you this, for every MAGA supporter out there, you might be right. There might not be video. There might not be audio of him calling the soldiers in the military suckers and losers. But I'll tell you this, there's video of him calling you weaklings and stupid. There's videos of him telling you to shut the fuck up. There's text messages, tweets, where he's literally saying it right to you. It's pretty insane. During one visit to the Atlantic City resort in the 80s, O'Donnell claimed inspectors of the State Casino Commission, which regulates gambling and ensures casinos complies with the law, were waiting for him in his office after the president and disgraced financier had turned up to the venue with a group of 3 women. This is where it talks about a little bit about them showing up. It says, 2 buddies, they had 3 women with them, and the commission was waiting for me because they had determined that the women that they brought down were underage to be in the casino. The former casino boss said that he asked the inspectors how they knew the young woman was of age, that was her age, and as he pointed out, one of them was a tennis fan and knew that one of these young women was a 19-year-old tennis player. It is illegal for anyone under 21 to gamble on the casino floor in New Jersey, what's the chances that this young woman was allowed to gamble in this casino? What's the chances? Guys, I'm going high percentage. O'Donnell said the commission gave Trump a break on this occasion, but claimed the commission made him ring the president to reprimand him. And of course, we all have seen the dearth of evidence, all of the photos, all of the videos of Donald Trump with Epstein. I don't know about you guys, but you cannot find photos of me, videos of me with just like random people that I kind of knew in the same amount that there is of Trump and Epstein. This is a time, this wasn't Instagram, this wasn't Twitter, this wasn't YouTube, this was well before all of that. And yet somehow there are just tons of photos and videos of him and Epstein together. But he barely knew him, guys. And we all know that Donald Trump is very good at saying, I didn't really know that guy. This isn't the first time. It's not the first time. And to be honest, I would be really surprised if it's the last. They made me call him, and I had to, believe it or not, read him the riot act about this action because they gave him a break. I had to call them and say, they're giving you a break this time, but if this happens again, the fine is going to be substantial, and it's going to be on your head. O'Donnell added that he told Trump that turning up with Epstein and the young women was not gonna look good. This is not, this was back in the day. This wasn't 10 years ago. This wasn't 15 years ago. This was well before Donald Trump said that he kicked Epstein out for being a creep. I did tell him in that conversation, I don't think you should be hanging out with this guy, just so you know, and you certainly shouldn't be doing that in Atlantic City. The president has attempted to distance himself from the disgraced financier who died by suicide in a New York jail in August of 2019. And have you guys seen the clip of Bill O'Reilly? Bill O'Reilly claiming that Trump was not in office, that Epstein was prosecuted under Joe Biden by Merrick Garland. By the way, neither Merrick Garland or Joe Biden were in the administration back in 2019, when not only was Epstein prosecuted by James Comey's daughter, who literally was just fired like yesterday, but then committed or took his own life. I don't want to say the wrong word on YouTube. He took his own life. And then what did Donald Trump do? Donald Trump blamed the Clintons for Epstein passing away. We have learned at this point that if Donald Trump is blaming anybody else for something, he probably did that shit. Okay? Like, this is, every accusation is a confession. This is a man that has consistently used the playbook of Nazi Germany. The 10,000 lies become a truth. The blame the other side for anything that you are doing. This is him. This is the poisoning the blood of our citizens. The vermin poisoning our blood. Look, there are tons of times in this culture where somebody misspeaks. There are tons of times in this culture where somebody says something out of pocket that they shouldn't say. And those people, if they haven't done that stuff before, can say, hey man, look back at my history and you tell me, am I that person? Or did I make a mistake? And if Donald Trump wants to stand up there and say those words to us, we will judge him by his past, by his history. And I will happily say, yeah, you that person. You're that dude. Let's see. Says the two were photographed and filmed together on several occasions. And in 2002, Trump described Epstein as a terrific guy whom he had known for 15 years in an interview with the New York Magazine. He added, it is even said that he likes beautiful women as much as I do, and many of them are on the younger side. So here's the thing about that, guys. Here's the thing about that. You can sit there and you can say all you want if you're a MAGA supporter. You can say, the suckers and losers, that was something somebody wrote in a book. You can say all you want that, like, people are out to get Trump. Look what happened to him. They weaponized the justice system against him. They weaponized the judicial system against him. You can say that all you want. We can even give you the best faith and we can be like, you know what? Sure. But if we're going to compare that information versus all the other information that currently exists in his own words, both written on social media, written in interviews, and his video interviews of him talking about Epstein and his videos of him partying with Epstein, and we compare those two, it seems as though, guys, Donald Trump, I think he might have known Epstein. And right now, I'm telling you this right now, there is a reason that Donald Trump does not want to release those files. And there's a reason he's now calling it the Epstein hoax, just like he called it the Russia hoax, just like he called it the Steele dossier hoax. Now I'm like, where'd that PP tape at? I'm like, I think it exists now. I was willing to believe, maybe not, you know? But now, it's something I say a lot on my channel. When I first started doing this, I got on here, and I wouldn't say I was a both sides person. But I was a person that would say, hey, you know, like, let's see evidence. Let's see proof. Like I said, I'm a secular humanist. If you're going to prove to me that God exists, then I need evidence. I need proof. I need to see it with my own eyes. So when I first got on this channel, I talked to people. I would say, you know, my chat would come in and they go, no, man, you're not going hard enough. You're not saying, you know, the things about this guy that are true, and it's this, and he said this about his daughter. And I go, come on, that's out of context, right? And then I go look it up. And they're like, damn, he said that about his daughter. Wow, that's crazy. And then I'd say, somebody said, yeah, the bone saw. You remember the bone saw? And I said, bone saw? They're like, yeah, the reporter and the bone saw. I'm like, what is that? That's not real. That's not real. And then I went and looked it up, and I was like, wow, that's real. That's real. They chopped up a reporter in Saudi Arabia, and Trump just was like, I don't know anything about that. So look, at the end of the day, you could pretty much tell me anything right now about Donald Trump, and I believe it. And it's not because people have said it or people have written it in a book. It's because this man leaves a paper trail behind him like he's Hansel and fucking Gretel. This man leaves text messages, interviews, speeches, emails, social media tweets He is his own worst enemy. And it is absolutely fucking mind-boggling, guys, that anyone out there still in any way, shape, or form supports this guy. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please like and subscribe and hit that notification bell. And check out that video on the screen now.